This is my mental sanity, and this is GREGTECH New Horizons. Today I am going to try and spend 100 days in GREGTECH New Horizons. GREGTECH New Horizons, or GTNH, is the Minecraft mod pack made to torture people. GTNH has the complexity of GREGTECH, the mobs of rlcraft, and it is incredibly long. GTNH makes everything stupidly difficult, even things like getting charcoal from wood, or making blocks of iron, takes an incredibly long time. It turns something that takes 5 seconds into something that takes 15 hours. So let's try and do it.
Ты нас не бойся, хоть трудно нам себя сдержать. Мы знаем, тебе страшно под нашим взглядом засыпать.
It is now day 0. We will start by trying to find a spot for our base and punching some trees. I will then make a crafting table using 2 logs of wood and flint. Because that's how you make it here. Then we will break some gravel to get flint tools, because normal Minecraft tools have been removed in this mod pack. Let's also try to get some wool for a bed. After experiencing incredible pain to craft a single bed, which requires a GREGTECH soft mallet, I can now go to sleep. It's now day 1. I have been forced by the GTNH guidebook to collect 64 cobblestone for no specific reason. I will now grind because this pack is stupid and doesn't know how to make good gameplay. Anyways, let's make a furnace. I have also set up a little farming station around the area, with a few crafting tables and land for crops. To continue, I have to give 10 carrots to the GREGTECH New Horizons quest book, or it will just stop me from progressing. I actually need a decent type of fuel for these furnaces, so I will try getting charcoal. Sadly, this is much harder than you expected. I need a structure known as a cock oven, which requires about 200 clay, sand and gravel. Instead of being outside and grinding clay for hours, I have started working on Tinker's Construct, a mod that can give me better tools by approximately 5%. For that, I need paper. The recipe for them is stupendously annoying, because it requires me going out of the crafting table to get water for paper. After I got my marginally better tools, I started exploring for a while. I found an oil spout, which will be useful for me later. When I came back home, I started building the cock oven. As I said before, this machine turns wood logs into charcoal. To get one single piece of charcoal you have to wait a full 2 minutes, because everything in GREGTECH New Horizons has to be self-torture. After being forced to mine 256 cobblestone by the GREGTECH New Horizons quest book, I have found a magnetite vein. If you aren't familiar with GREGTECH, these veins contain an extremely high amount of a single type of ore, and they appear once every 3 chunks, and magnetite is just the GREGI word for iron. It is now time for us to make a smelter. GREGTECH New Horizons uses the Tinker's Construct mod, which means that you have to make tools by smelting down metals into tool parts. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but all the recipes have been gregified so that the smelter needs thousands of clay. You first have to crush down normal clay into clay dust, which only has a yield of 25%. Self-torture. What you are looking at right now is about 2 hours of grinding to make a smelter, so I will explain how incredibly annoying this is. GREGTECH New Horizons changed hunger so that every time it gets below 3, you get slowness, and mining fatigue, and nausea. The footage in the background might look a bit annoying, but trust me, it is much more annoying in real life. If I sprint jump for literally 12 seconds I start losing hunger even if it's full. I hate this game. was coping so hard. I was seething in hallway. This isn't like my beloved GREGTECH even official. After a full 2 hours of grinding, I have managed to obtain a full smelter. I have also got myself a full set of GREGTECH tools, to make things like plates, rods, and wires. If you didn't know, every material in GREGTECH has 20 different types because things need to be as greggy as possible. Nearly every recipe requires a hammer, or a wrench, or a file, or something like that. To actually use my smelter, I need lava. Lava is hot and it can liquefy metals. In GREGTECH New Horizons, you cannot actually carry a bucket of lava. You need gloves, which require cotton. Finding cotton was a bit of a task. I expected it to take 5 minutes, but... point is over 600 blocks away from base. I need to get it every time. I can't sprint jump or I get slowness and then starve. After obtaining my cotton, I talked with my fellow comrades on the PGS Discord server. I have been told that you can get cotton by simply right-clicking grass with a hoe. I wasted about 45 minutes of my life trying to find a seed. I need ores. Specifically, copper and tin, to make bronze. So I started mining. Mining in GREGTECH is quite different than in normal Minecraft. Ores are placed every 3 chunks. So I started digging down to try finding something. On my first 2 attempts, I found a lapis vein, which contains calcite, and then a limonite vein, which contains iron and copper. After working on my base for a couple of hours, and sorting my chests, I have come back to the mines. This time I found redstone, and tin, and also asbestos, my favorite ore. And the next day I found coal, and gypsum, which will be used later for making steel. I can put coal in my coke oven to create coal coke, which is a much better furnace fuel. This sadly takes 3 minutes to. After spending a high amount of time punching my monitor, I have found salt, apatite, and redstone again. It is not normal to spend 8 attempts trying to find copper, which is literally the simplest ore. Jesus Christ. Finally, after almost 2 hours of searching, I have found copper. I now have both the ingredients needed to make bronze. I will now smelt the copper and tin ores, and use my mortar to turn them into dust. I can combine the copper and tin dust to make bronze dust, which is the next ingredient for the GREGIC master plan. After obtaining bronze, I have finished the first chapter of GREGTECH, the Stone Age. I can now start working towards steam machines, which are the next step. I will first start by building a base over the river, with a roof. Because steam machines explode when they are violated by rain. I have also made myself some bronze tools. Anyways, I am now going to start working on a small bronze boiler. This machine takes in water, heats it up using coal, and turns it into steam. This is important because the second chapter of GREGTECH is called the Steam Age. I can use steam machines to automate things that previously weren't possible. But there is one more problem. To get steam, we need water. And the developers of GTNH have disabled infinite water. To do this, I need a water tank, which is more complicated to craft than your mom. And after spending about 20 minutes building the water tank, I have to tear it down and build it again. If you look here, it says that the place I am in has 20% humidity. This means that the water tank won't actually get water. So I have to move it to another place 50 blocks out and pipe the water into my base. And finally, after 49 days, I have automation. The first machine I need to make is the alloy smelter, which combines 2 ingots into one. Like copper and tin make bronze, and copper and redstone make red alloy. Red alloy will be especially useful for the next machine. After spending an obscene amount of time trying to craft a piston, I have made myself a steam compressor. It compresses 9 ingots into blocks. Yes, that's right, you can't make blocks of iron in the normal crafting table. It literally took me 12 hours to get here. And after using the compressor, I was able to make an anvil, which will be used in the next machine, the forge hammer. It turns 3 ingots into 2 plates. Before this, I had to You will now laugh at the GREGTECH recipe for glass. To make one piece of glass, I first need to make flint dust, then sand dust, and then combine them and put the glass dust in the smelter. Then I need to use a chisel to convert the clear glass into normal glass. The next machine I have to make is the extractor. It extracts resin out of wood at the incredible speed of 20 seconds per item. If I need 64 resin for something, like circuits, it means I have to wait 20 minutes. Good. And after 13 hours, I can now start working on the last steam machine. The Macerator. This thing takes an ore, and crushes it. It makes 2 crushed ore. So we can get 2 times more ingots from the same ore. There are 2 problems with this machine. First of all, it takes 20 seconds just to do 1 ore. If I want to get a stack of dust, that's 21 full minutes, and the recipe for the Macerator requires the player to find diamonds! As you expect, finding diamonds in GREGTECH is not that easy. You have to find the right vein, and then dig down to see what's inside and hope it's diamonds. It's about a 1 in 30 chance. Glory to the PGS.
Definition of insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. The first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me, so sure. The thing is,
New horizons, 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 new horizons.
You just saw me losing my mind for about 2 hours at trying to find a single diamond door. I asked for help on various Discord servers and Reddit, but I was told to cope and see. Anyways, we have our macerator now. I started the grind for the brick blast furnace. This is probably the last machine I will make in this pack. If you have seen my other video, you know that it is incredible pain to craft. Since I have lost all my footage, I will now explain how to craft it. You need over 1,000 clay. You must make brick dust and then clay dust, then fire bricks, and then blah 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 blah. This machine is incredible pain. It requires 72 full minutes of staring at my macerator. You guys have no idea how bad it is. I cut about 80% of the footage because famous YouTuber igobylotsofnames said it was very boring. So after mining over 1,000 gypsum ore from Romania, I went straight to the compressor. This right here is a 48-minute time gate. Yes, GREGTECH New Horizons wants me to stare at a compressor for 48 minutes, just before I stare at a macerator for 96 more minutes. There was a little bit of a problem. I accidentally used 512 clay instead of the required 720 clay by the quest. I came to the GREGTECH New Horizons Discord for help. I was told to cope and seethe.
Regin, you are so dumb. How about you just cope and seethe for a while? It's only 700 clay, just mine more.
Regin, 175 blocks is only 58.5 minutes in the steam macerator. How are you so lazy? Just cope and get the clay. Seethe. Melt. You are so useless. How can you not grind GREGTECH for 2 hours? It's so simple. You can do it. How are you so ungreedy? Regin, I like your videos a lot. Can you make 1,000 days? I want you to suffer. I want you to play for 330 hours.
After experiencing the incredibly toxic bath of hydrofluoric acid that is the GTNH Discord, I snapped. My mental sanity is at an all-time low. I am now going to... So guys, I have made myself a brick blast furnace. Look at how cool it is. I have decided to cut the footage because this guy said it's boring. It only took me 3 hours of staring at a macerator while going clinically insane. This thing is insane. If you give it 2 ingots of iron and some coal, it will make steel. Because GREGTECH players realize that life isn't torturous enough, the blast furnace takes 6 minutes to make 1 single ingot of steel. Yes, this clip may be 30 seconds in the video, but it's 48 minutes long. After spending 48 minutes looking at the bricked best friend, I can now make a flint and steel. I need to get to the nether to get sulfur for the next part of the GREGIC master plan. I can now go mine sulfur. Why do I need this? I need rubber so I can make electric cables. After looking at the quests for a while, I gave up. I don't want to use the quests anymore, because the rubber quest requires me to stare at a macerator and supply steam to it for 42 minutes. This is not okay. This is just bad game design. I wanted to get myself a hammer, but it requires aluminium. Aluminium is incredibly hard to find in GREGTECH New Horizons. As soon as I looked at the recipe, I punched my monitor, and after I collected raw rubber, I can now use it to make insulation for cables. You see, the goal of this video is getting electricity, and I need cables to transport it, duh. I have made myself an electric motor. The most important piece of technology in GREGTECH. This will be used for making our energy generating machine known as a steam turbine. And after lots of confabulating, I have built myself the thing Omahig knows as the resistor. This is just one of GREGTECH's components for making a circuit, don't worry about it. I also built myself a board for these circuits. This obviously took 20 minutes. If I showed every single crafting step, this video will probably be about 7 hours long. I have built the final component of the circuitry, the vacuum tube. I stared at the forge hammer for 52 minutes and then realized that making red alloy plates is physically impossible. I am a pure waste of time. This pack is starting to give me nausea. I haven't eaten any food in 8 hours. This is a monumental occasion. I built myself the first low-voltage circuit. I only need one to make my energy-generating machine. Thankfully we are on day 96, and I only need to play this fucking game for 100 days. I can be free. No more GREGTECH New Horizons. I am depressed. God, please let me out. I cannot take it anymore. I barfed on my monitor twice. The nausea is killing me. I am unironically going insane in real life, and after a little bit of waiting, I am finished. I built the LV steam turbine. This thing takes in steam from our boilers and turns it into energy. It makes a whole 2 energy units per tick at its top speed. This machine only took me 24 hours to build. I can't believe I wasted 24 hours of my life on this. It's useless. It's not even GREGI. I can't even run a wiring mill on this. No wonder Dream Master is into masochism.